What do you have to say about OpenAI?
OpenAI, it's a company that's 9 years old. And yes, they had some unusual things in the context of being private and non-profit, and now they're in a transition to profit. Obviously, there are a lot of changes going on. I had a post number 492 on my site that talked about OpenAI is going through its best of times, the worst of times. And depending on which news item of the week you look, this is again one of those weeks where almost decades are happening for OpenAI. They've had all these senior people leave. They've had several founders leave, obviously. There are a lot of memes out there that basically show Sam is the only founders that seems to be left standing, etc. But we forget. Meta started with 5, Facebook, as it was known in 2004, started with 5 founders. By 2008 or 9, only one was left, and that was Mark Zuckerberg. Companies go through transitions, Google, Amazon, just on and on. And these are major gear shifts in acceleration as the companies get to certain points, etc. But if you look at the best of times for OpenAI, they still are in a very leadership position in large language models and the attendant products around them. I think the AI reasoning product, which is the level 2 that they just announced, which used to be called Strawberry, and I had a post on that as well in a fair amount of detail, it starts to show one of the first major steps toward making large language models actually do useful things that in terms of agents and reasoning, etc. So that was a big thing. They're obviously closing a big round, presumably this week, $6-7 billion at $150 billion valuation. They've got big, heavy lift things they have to do going forward, which is change their governance structure from nonprofit to profit. There are some articles out there that give you the complexity of that. And I think the company on a net basis is really navigating through all of these things. And on a net basis, I feel there's more positives than negatives. I know you have a slightly different view, and we should talk about it.
This is disorderly. The abrupt resignation the week before a critical financing round where they need to invest in more AI capability on the heels of drama where the board terminated Sam Altman in the last quarter of last year. This is not something we saw with Facebook. Something is wrong.
I would say something is wrong. Something is different is what I would say for the industry, AI industry. Let me give you one other framing. For AI, not just for OpenAI, but for Anthropic. In fact, the number 2 AI company is Anthropic, and all of their founders came from OpenAI, ironically, 3-4 years ago. And Anthropic is the safe AI company. This is an industry that if you go back to 2015, it was Elon Musk and Larry Page at a late night party debating AI, and then literally came up with the notion in the origin story of this company to create a nonprofit of safe AI because they were terrified at the existential issues around AI. My view is that all of those existential views, the doomer scenario of AI, is meaningfully premature. It's premature by decades. But because we have all grown up with all these fears of sci-fi, Terminator, these things that are possible like Her, all these existential and dystopic things that are possible. AI is the only technology wave, not internet, not PC, not cloud, not mobile, not mainframes, that ever had this existential fear that the average person who's not experienced this thinks there is more bad things about AI than good because they've never experienced it.